Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. Today, we're going to be doing another Soulful 7, soulful messages that are meant for the next 5 to 7 days. So, channeled, intuitive messages from Spirit, the universe, God, that are meant for you for the next 5 to 7 days. So, this is meant for us to fill our own cups up spiritually, emotionally, to set aside 10 minutes a day or more to just like be in spirit, be in soul, think about some of the areas in our lives that we need to improve on, things like that. That's really what this series is all about. So I hope these messages really resonate with you. They're going to be set up in 3 different groups. This is all intuitive. Nothing is prepared. There's going to be links in the description to the 3 different groups. So if you need to pause the video here to meditate on which group you believe has your message, then please do so now. Otherwise, we're just going to get right into the readings. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your Soulful 7 reading. So these are timeless readings meant for the next 5 to 7 days. So messages for you from Spirit for the next 5 to 7 days. Our messages are going to be guided today by our animal spirits. So we're going to go ahead and give this deck a shuffle. Figure out what messages we have from our animal spirits today. What messages for group number 1 today from our spirit animals? What messages? Okay, so for some reason this card is calling out to me. The Seahorse Spirit. Watch and wait. Wow. So what I'm really getting right off the bat here with our Seahorse Spirit is this idea of patience. Just about kind of like moving in silence is what I'm kind of getting to this message. This idea of like watching and waiting. It's kind of like moving in silence, not bragging about things or telling everybody your business sort of energy, but just watching, waiting, patience, almost like temperance energy is kind of what I'm getting right off the bat. Hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama. Remaining at a distance from all the turbulence, Seahorse Spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Yeah, I said temperance energy. And it's also about, we're talking about avoiding drama, like staying out of drama and dramatic situations, emotionally taxing and just escalating energy. And just kind of like I said, moving in silence, like staying in our own zone, staying in your own lane, letting all of the craziness happen around you, letting all the chaos happen around you. Because really, drama doesn't bring anything to us spiritually except for drain. All it does is take, it does not restore. So I feel like that's kind of the general message is just to protect your energy is what I'm getting in general here from our Seahorse Spirit. So a very great way, I feel like, to start this conversation. Some of you might be going through some tumultuous time in relation, with your relationships and people around you and things like that. I'm getting like 7 of Swords energy, 10 of Swords energy sort of thing. But I do feel like this idea of you kind of taking a step back and not allowing people to instigate, not allowing them to pull you into the turmoil and the drama, but to like stay above it, is kind of what I'm picking up, or what I'm vibing off of this message initially. So we have the Lovers card starting us out, and I feel like in relationship to the conversation that we're having today, this idea of alignment and being in alignment, in fact, with your purpose in life, with your destined path. Our Lovers card also talks about this idea of options, and it could be talking about, romances or relationships, or even the fact that, a romantic relationship or a partner could be bringing drama into your life. But I feel like the message there is like, do not give in to the drama if that's the case. And maybe even consider like, if this person's bringing all sorts of drama into your life, do you need them in your life? Do they belong in your world? And that is your choice, of course. But just this idea of choices in general. I'm also getting the message for some of you that this idea of watching and waiting when we're talking about choices is almost like, I just get this image of like, someone offers you something, and by saying nothing, by staying silent, by not giving that person an answer like a yes or a no, or that you accept or don't accept, the silence is almost like too much for them, and then they start creating a better deal for you, if that makes any sense. They start like bargaining by themselves because your silence is almost like telling them that they can do better. So I feel like this idea of watching and waiting is like, it's like sitting back and kind of like letting everyone else around you be the ones expending energy, sort of thing. And I also feel like that'll give you more options as well. Like just kind of sitting back and waiting and watching will also allot you more better deals. You'll get more out of the deal. So we have the Spirit of Swords, this idea of eagerness and tenacity. So this is our Knight energy, Knight of Sword energy. And I feel like it's just like tempering this energy, I feel like is what our seahorse is saying. So if you are feeling eager, if you're feeling like just really aggressive, like you just want to really take advantage of something, I'm getting the message for some of you that this might be related to like career, some sort of career opportunity. If you're feeling like, yes, like I need to jump on whatever this is, whatever this offer is, the message that I'm getting here for you is to watch and wait, to be patient. Because I'm feeling again, like the longer you wait it out, the better the deal you're going to be. So you are not to be eager. You are to be patient and kind of rest in silence, but be watched, because watching is an activity. You are active when you are watching. It's still an action. It's just you're not doing a whole bunch of extra movement. And I feel like our spirit energy, our Spirit of Swords energy is like that movement. Like there's lots of movement. It's on the go. And this could be related to a person that you're dealing with. You could be dealing with an air sign, sun, moon, rising, in our Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra energy. So just having that really like fast thinking, quick-minded type of people, I feel like in some cases are more eager and tenacious. And I feel like just kind of letting their energy be their energy, and you settle in your own energy and your calmness. So we do have the shadow here, which is our this idea of dependence and materialism. And I feel like this is our Devil card. So I feel like it's kind of that warning you against being caught up in materialism and in material goods and resources being like defining energy for you. And I feel like being in this place where you are dependent on others and or things to make you feel like you're accomplished or that you're advancing in the direction that you want to advance in. I feel like there's kind of a warning here, and this idea of watching and waiting is almost like, it's almost talking about like delayed gratification is what I'm getting here. So if you have the desire to like go out and get that purse or get that really nice car, apartment, or whatever, I feel like the message here is to watch and to wait and to get in alignment spiritually and emotionally with the things that you really want in life, and not depending on materialism to to like basically validate your accomplishments and where you are in your life. I think this idea of shadow is also interesting. And the phrase that I get from the Wild Unknown Archetypes, the shadow card in that particular deck talks about how the closer something is to the light, the longer the shadow it casts. And this idea of denying our shadow side, or denying the parts of ourselves that we, aren't quote unquote the light side or the best side of ourselves. And the more we try to deny that side of us, the more that side screams and wants attention. And like the deeper that side becomes, if that makes any sense. Like the closer we try to get to the light, the more we try to minimize that we have a shadow side, the deeper and longer the shadow becomes. So I found that very interesting. And, this could also be a message as well for some of you to do some shadow work. Again, that time of watching and waiting, like I said, that Temperance card also kind of reminds me of Hermit energy, just kind of like going inside yourself and sorting out some things, getting in alignment with yourself, getting into harmony with yourself, being on the same page with your own energy. So a lot of really intense energy. We have 2 major cards, and a court card. So I feel like these messages are really intense, and the next week is going to be a deep soul searching type of week for you, and it is going to take patience and tenacity to move through some of these more difficult topics. So we're adding Salal to our conversation today, this idea of subdue. And I feel like this is very much so related to our seahorse spirit, this idea of waiting. Subduing, like, it's like kind of pushing something down is what I'm getting. Like that's kind of the energy that I'm pulling from this idea of like pushing something down, pushing something back, pushing something off. It could be Hanged Man energy is also what I'm getting. So like delays, delayed gratification I mentioned as well. So this particular herb, Salal, it's related to the Temperance and the Chariot card. It is about moderation, balance, the suppression of urges that would be detrimental to your life. The Chariot is a card that speaks of will, marshaling your strength, and subduing anything that will distract from your forward motion, at times to one's detriment. Balance is a constant reminder. Subdue those things that are not helpful, but remember to be kind to yourself and your community. So, I feel like this is also this idea of kind of removing things that are getting in your way of progression. And I feel like progression for you in particular is spiritual progression and getting in alignment. I feel like it's subduing these shadow tendencies in some ways in order to get in alignment spiritually. That's kind of the connection that I'm getting from those energies. Yeah, we already talked about the Temperance card as well, and that our seahorse energy kind of is reminding me of the Temperance card. Digestive, processing is the key word for this card. So the trigger statement here is, I am so worried. The true statement is, I have the solution. Slowing down and listening to your inner voice will provide you with direction and purpose. Oh my goodness. Could we be any more connected today? Like, this is so, I just love it. Like when the messages like link together and they just twist around each other. I feel like it makes it very, very clear what the universe and what spirit is guiding you to do when you get the same or very similar messages from multiple different sources. So this idea of processing. Yeah, I mean, something I'm getting the message for, this is kind of a specific message, but some of you might be kind of going through some, like you might have recently went through something difficult, something challenging. You might even be overcoming some things that are challenging and difficult to overcome, some, you know, shadowy or devilish type of energy. And, you know, you might even be breaking the bonds of dependence with a lover. Could be. I'm getting the message. That seemed very specific to some people. But also this idea of being dependent on XYZ, ABC, whatever that thing is, whether it's food, whether it's validation, whether it's material, you know, materialism or attention, whatever that dependency is, like breaking free of that, I feel like is part of this healing process. And this idea of kind of slowing down, like we just live in a world that's always trying to move so quickly that we often barely have the opportunity to process things, to process life, to process experiences, to process our own feelings and where we stand in a situation. So I do feel like, again, this idea of almost like taking a step back, like hovering in the shadows, you know, staying off the radar and kind of just like being inside of ourselves and nurturing ourselves and figuring out what we need to work on. Again, you know, this whole series is all about filling our cup. Every week, at least, we're going to get together and we're going to fill our cups up together every week and walk away from these conversations with something to think through and something to take with us for the week. So this idea of, again, processing, taking a step back. And then also, I really love this true statement. I have the solution. You have the solution. This really reminds me of the Magician card. And I feel like whenever the Magician card, the Magician energy comes to mind, it's really, to me, a reminder that we always have the tools that we need to manifest the life that we desire. We simply have to, first of all, learn those tools and then get in alignment, like get in connection with spirit, with our, you know, our destined path, like get in harmony with ourselves. I feel like once we're in alignment and I think of like pulling from the top of your head straight up a string that runs from your crown chakra all the way through your body to your root chakra. And then just this idea of alignment and being in complete connection and flow. So that energy is flowing from spiritual realm down into, you know, our root energy and back up again. I feel like just this oscillating energy that's going back and forth, up and down inside of ourselves. Like that to me is a harmony. That to me is alignment that we're talking about here in our Lovers card. And anything that's in the way of that, kind of like we were talking about this idea of subdue, anything in the way of that, we need to remove. And I feel like that's kind of what the shadow energy is all about, like removing our dependence on things that are not in alignment. So, and being tenacious about it. You know, having grit, having grip, and not letting go. I feel like someone needs to hear that, you know, as you are overcoming these shadow types of items and elements, that it's not easy. And you might not be successful the first time around. But I am getting the message here that if you keep at it, if you are tenacious about it, if you keep at it, you grit, you grab onto it, and you keep going, you will be successful because you have the solution. you have the solution. Definitely. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. And then I actually did also get the message here that somebody needed a card from my Mausolea Oracle of Souls deck. Now, this is the deck that I use for my shadow work messages. So I'm just going to pull a card for you. El Shaddai, the Radiant Lord. This energy is about wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. And I feel like really the message that I'm getting off of this card here is this idea of kindness. And I feel like it was also in our subdue energy as well. This idea of being kind to yourself, this idea of being gentle with yourself is huge, especially as you are going through healing, as you're processing, as you're getting in alignment. Like, mistakes have been made, will continue to be made, because we are humans, right? We're at least having a human experience at this point in time, and mistakes and all of that stuff is all a part of this experience. So I feel like being kind to ourselves, forgiving ourselves, and just understanding in general that, you know, life is all about the variety of things, you know, having all light things. Like, you wouldn't be able to appreciate those things or even understand those things without having the opposite of that, without having those shadow things. Like, sometimes, and I kind of tell this to people, like, when it comes to career, knowing what you don't want is just as important as knowing what you do want. So I feel like all of these messages are very much solely connected. So we're going to go ahead and lay out 3 of our soul truth questions for you to take away with you for the week. Any additional messages that come to me about these particular cards, I will make sure to share with you. So our first card says, from whom can I release judgment right now? And I'm feeling like yourself could be an answer to that. So it says, judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. Yeah, I'm feeling like self-forgiveness is a part of that. I feel like that's just in alignment with our conversation about self-forgiveness. Okay, so our second card is, where am I with health goals? Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? What will it take for me to feel well? If your body could talk, it would say, so this is all about, like, feel your body. Again, getting in alignment is all about connecting all the parts of ourselves. And of course, our physical, our physical being is a part of that. You know, getting in alignment spiritually and emotionally is awesome, but also making sure to account for our physical being as well, our bodies. Okay, and then our last soul truth card. Again, picking one of these really to focus on for the week is the intent. Something for us to walk away with, for us to kind of tackle for the next 5 to 7 days. What boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? So I think this is always a sound, solid message whenever it comes up, because boundaries are so important. Boundaries are about loving yourself. And the people who are willing to respect your boundaries are the people that belong in your life. If somebody is not willing to respect the boundaries that you set, so we set boundaries in order to make sure that our needs are met. You know, so if one of your boundaries is, you know what, every morning I get 10 minutes to spend in a spiritual place. You know, and if someone can't respect that, that's a problem. That's a serious issue. And, boundaries are really, it's a love form. It's a form of love for ourselves and for those around us, because it sets like expectations for them so that they know how to also nurture us. and that our limitations or the things that we put in place as boundaries are not meant to limit these relationships. It's really meant to expand those relationships, because then people know where they can expand to that is healthful, that is meaningful, that is going to increase the connection, and not expand on those areas that do not align with what you want, what you wish, what you desire for your life and your existence. So, with all of that said, beautiful soul, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure to drop a comment. Let me know in the comments what's resonating with you, which one of the soul truth questions you're going to take with you for the next week and contemplate on. And also make sure to click like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Check out my Facebook page and my Etsy shop, where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thanks again for your time and energy, and I will see you in an upcoming video. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to go ahead and start with our Animal Spirit Oracle to guide our message today for you, group number 2. What guiding message, whole chunk of cards here, what guiding message do we have for group number 2? What guiding message? What guiding message for group number 2? Okay. We have 2 cards, but let's see. Peacock Spirit, and actually also had Rabbit Spirit. Oh, I feel like these messages are so incredibly connected. The first thing that I see before I even read the cards, just seeing them together, is this idea of abundance. Abundance, material abundance, spiritual abundance, fertility. Those are the first kind of thoughts that flooded. So in our Peacock Spirit, let it shine. I feel like this message is for those of you who might be a little shy, so to speak, or, you kind of downplay your accomplishments, things like that. Maybe you even cringe at the idea of like telling somebody about something that you've done, like something that you're good at. This card is also about letting your light shine in general, and having fun is what I get to. Having fun, letting your light shine, coming out from the shadows, showing your true colors. And I really feel like, okay, so this is really interesting. So Peacock Spirit says, show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force energy and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. That is so, listen, okay. Yeah, I said I got abundance. This idea of, I also feel like it's like speaking abundance into your life. Like believing and telling yourself, as far as those self-talk conversations go, telling yourself that you are abundant, telling yourself that you belong wherever you are, telling yourself that grace and joy and peace and all of these beautiful things belong to you. Claiming that. And then, our Rabbit Spirit is about, now is a lucky time, our Rabbit Spirit says. And I feel like these two conversations are so connected. I feel like if you've been thinking about that thing, if you've been, whatever it is, a creative endeavor, a job change, starting a business, if you've been thinking about it, whatever it is, I feel like it's trying to say, let it shine. Now is the lucky time. It's almost like pushing you out the door, pushing you towards something that's very meaningful to you. So in regards to our rabbit spirit, it says, today is also a time to be fruitful and productive as you enjoy rabbit spirit's sunny and prolific energy. At this time, whatever you intend to bring to life will find fertile ground. There are no mistakes, really, when you are co-creating with spirit. So let your new ideas spring to the surface, knowing that now is a lucky time of tremendous possibility. So this is like hardcore magician energy to me. I'm just feeling this idea of manifesting whatever comes to mind, and this idea of experimenting too. So some of you might be afraid to go after the dreams is what I'm getting, like going after the things that are really meaningful to you. And I feel like, I mean, spirit couldn't push any harder right now. This idea of like going out there and getting it, living life, man, living life. Oh, I just got a burst of energy. So exciting. I am so excited. So we're going to add some tarot cards to this conversation. See if we can get... Ooh. Card just literally hit me in the face. Maybe it was telling me to stop talking. Okay, so we have our Queen of Wands energy. This idea of generosity and tenacity. Queen of Wands. Yeah, Wands, man. That fire energy. That fire. Oh my gosh. I love this. We have the Five of Rings, insecurity and recovery. I do feel like insecurity. I feel like that's why the Peacock Spirit came out to talk to you. Because this idea of just insecurity, and again, like I said, is, feeling like, just kind of like living in the shadows. I feel like living like skulking from shadow to shadow, being afraid to just like do anything really fabulous for yourself, really. I'm getting the idea that you are a very generous person with the Queen of Wands. Like, you are a very generous person to other people, but not necessarily generous to yourself. And I'm feeling like that's kind of our message here today, is like, it's okay to expenditure some of your energy on you. Go after the things that you want in life, what means a lot to you. Ooh, yes! So we have the Empress energy, this idea of abundance. Oh my gosh, I totally said it. I totally said that abundance, this is like our message. Oh, I feel so connected right now to this message. You guys don't even understand. Okay. So this idea that, that Empress energy, I also said fertility. Okay. So if that is a part of, something that you desire, this idea of starting a family or having a family, I'm feeling like that now is the lucky time. If you're not trying to have a family, be mindful. But now is the lucky time. So just in general, like, man, the Empress energy, she is filling me with light right now and life right now. Being centered, and grounded, and like, I feel like the Empress is also like unabashedly shows who, like, yes, I am this beautiful floating flowing being, and unapologetically so, like the peacock energy, just like, let it shine, man. And I feel like letting it shine and showing your true like abundance and depth will also bring forth the same energy, that abundant energy, that lightness. And then we have our Ten of Wands. Okay, so this idea of challenges, this idea of responsibility. So what I am getting from that is that it's not going to be easy to do this. It's not going to be easy to let it shine. It's not going to be easy to go out and manifest the life that you want. That there is going to be work. There is going to be diligence. But I'm also getting the message here that I feel like our Ten of Wands is like carrying the burden on your own. And the message that I am getting from you is that you don't have to carry the burden on your own. You don't have to do it by yourself. You're not alone. You're co-creating with Spirit. And also Spirit and the universe has put energies into your life to help you manifest this abundance. There will be work for you, but not all of the work is for you. Not all of the work has to be done by you. And I feel like it's also this idea of recovering from feeling like you're on your own and that everything in your life has to be because of your own work and effort, Capricorn. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Yes. I got hard Capricorn vibes here. Hard with that message. That somebody needed to hear that. So strong Capricorn placement, Sun and rising Venus. So we have our pine, which is all about preserving. The message that really is like singing right now to me from this card is like preserving your own essence. It's like some of you, I'm getting the message that you might be worried about, like almost like losing yourself or losing your parts of your character, and not wanting to like brag or anything like that. And I'm getting the message here that it's not about bragging. It's about, it's really about standing proud, standing in a place of power, you know, not being afraid of your potential, not being afraid of who you are, not being afraid of the effort and the work that you've put into things, and just really like releasing that insecurity. You know, like your character is not connected to your success. Like being successful isn't going to make you a horrible person. In fact, it's going to just magnify what you already are, which is generous. You're a generous person. You're a loving person. You're a caring person. You do for others and do in an intense way. Like you will do anything for the people that you love. And that will just get magnified with your success. It will not compromise your success, or your success will not compromise that character, those character qualities that you have. And then we have eucalyptus. So this could definitely be a message that, you know, if you're feeling ill. So eucalyptus, the key word here is reset. And I feel like that's connected with our 5 of rings energy. You know, our rings are our earth energy. So I'm getting like health and wellness and things like that. And I feel like the message here is about, you know, if you're feeling sick or if you're feeling ill, you know, the trigger statement is I am sick, and then the true statement is I am alive. So even if you are unwell at this point in time, you're feeling unwell, I feel like the message here is like, yes, you might be, you know, going through a difficult time physically, but you are alive. And it's not just about living, it's not just about breathing, like sucking air into your lungs, but it's about living. I am alive. I am alive. You are alive. You are alive. And as long as you are alive, you have the potential. You have the potential to dig into life and your purpose as needed. You have that potential. You have that opportunity, because if you're gone, if you're dead, you don't have that opportunity. So I feel like that's a very clear message to me, is this idea of being alive. So it is time to embrace a new way of being, one filled with health and the freedom to create a new reality. Oh my gosh. You know what? These essential oil cards, I swear, they just reiterate to me our conversations every single reading, every single time. Yes, this is exactly what we have been talking about today. This idea of freeing yourself to create the reality that you want. The things that you say to yourself in your mind, the things that you do are a reflection of how you feel about yourself, what you feel that you are worthy of. And I feel like the message here is that you have the power because you are alive. Even if you are feeling unwell, you are alive and you have the power to manifest the life that you want, to be free of the difficulties, be free of all that negativity, be free of, because I feel like sickness in many ways is a manifestation. It's a manifestation of our mental well-being as well. The things that we are saying to ourselves come to fruition. So be mindful. So even this idea, again, of the magician energy, of the empress energy, this idea of abundance, I feel like abundance, we associate it with positive energy because I do think it definitely is very much so positive energy. But you can also have an abundance of negativity. So be mindful of that. I feel like it all stems from the source. You know, so what you truly feel like you're worth, what you truly feel like you deserve, you like, and what you're telling yourself in your mind, that is the source that you are manifesting from. So make sure that that source is pure. Make sure that source is clean. Make sure that source is positive and uplifting. Because if it is, oh my goodness, the life you can manifest with this energy I'm feeling right here is incredible. Now's the time. You're alive right now. So now is the time. That is the strongest message that is singing in my mind right now. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I love it so much. Look at my Empress. I am shooketh by her still. I'm still shooketh. I'm shooketh, girl. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to lay out 3 soul truth cards for you to select as kind of energy, guiding energy for the week, for the next, 7 days here, for you to chew on, for you to meditate on as you go through the week. So our first message is, where can I ask for more help in my life? Oh my gosh, did I not say that you are not in this alone? Did I not say that? I feel like I did. I feel like that was a message that was channeled. Okay, so where can I ask for more help? Somebody needed to hear that, and somebody needs to take this card with them for the next 5 to 7 days. So it says, until we can receive with an open heart, we're never really giving with an open heart. Interesting. When we attach judgment to receiving help, we knowingly or unknowingly attach judgment to giving help. Breen Brown. That is very interesting. So your soul action for this week is ask someone for help and receive it with an open heart. Say to yourself, I ask for what I want and I am open to receiving it. Oh my gosh, that is so. Listen, abundance is about reception. Divine feminine energy is about reception, receiving. Even when we're talking about fertility, the egg receives the sperm. It's about reception and, asking for what you want, but also being willing to receive it when it comes. That's huge, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is so, I'm so energetic right now. This is so crazy. I am channeling this energy. Okay. We're coming. We're getting there. Okay, so our second message here. On whom am I placing blame right now? On whom Am I placing blame right now? A person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson. Take responsibility this week. On whom are you placing blame right now? Free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be led. Okay. Oh my gosh. So much beautiful work to tackle this week. Okay. And then our final one. Let's get it up. Am I getting enough rest to restore my energy and fully show up to my life? I feel like this is a very interesting conversation, especially when we're talking about this idea of the sickness, because getting rest, and not just sleep, but rest. It's like sometimes, like, we don't get good rest even when we're sleeping. We wake up, we can't sleep like all the way through the night, different reasons and things like that. So I feel like if you're struggling to stay asleep, the message that I'm getting here for you is to do some physical activity, to get yourself tired physically, and I feel like that will help you sleep better. For those of you who have like chronic insomnia, I don't necessarily have a distinct message for you, but I do believe in healing. I believe in spiritual healing. I believe that spiritual healing definitely overflows into physical healing as well. So I feel like that is something that for you to meditate on, and also believe that change can happen. Believe that that healing is possible for you. So these are the messages that I have channeled for you today, group number 2. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was meaningful for you. Please drop a comment and let me know which question you're going to be taking with you through the week, and you're going to be working on for the next 5 to 7 days. And also make sure to click like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're here every week filling you with a new message and with new questions to guide your week. Again, the next 5 to 7 days, these are timeless readings. So the next 5 to 7 days. Also, make sure to like my Facebook page and check out my Etsy shop where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thank you so much, beautiful spirit, for spending time with me today. And I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So we are going to start by shuffling. Okay. It's a chunk of cards. We're going to start by successfully shuffling our Spirit Animal Oracle deck here. Or Animal Spirit Oracle. The Spirit Animal Oracle. See what our guiding message should be. The White Raven Spirit. Trust in magic. Yeah, that's a very interesting. Coming right out of the back, talking about trust and talking about magic. I feel like magic is like that synergy, that synergetic energy that bonds together two things that don't logically make sense. And the example that I love to give is love. I really love giving the example of love because I feel like love, though a combination, I feel like, of all of the elements, I feel like it's like fire energy and water energy, but blended together. Whereas typically we think of water energy as snuffing out fire energy, and we think of fire energy evaporating water. Like they can't coexist in one space. But when we're talking about love, and when we're talking about spirituality, when we're talking about creativity, in fact, those energies really connect well together in a really beautiful way. So I just feel like our message is going to be tied to connecting energies together that don't immediately or don't logically tend to make sense. And this idea of trust, I feel like, is very much so connected to faith, which I feel like is very much so connected to that spiritual realm, this spiritual energy. So we had the 5 of Cups added to our conversation, which is about dwelling and avoidance. I think we need to get a little bit more information, but I feel like you might be struggling with trust because you're dwelling on something that happened in the past. And I'm getting really hard for you guys, some sort of relationship thing, whereas something kind of difficult happened in a relationship that messed up trust. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be like a friendship or familial relationship, but this idea of somebody really disappointing you and you kind of just dwelling on that and using that as a way to keep yourself closed off from anything else. And I feel like whenever we're talking about being closed off, the conversation of beautiful, the conversation of discernment comes up. So discernment is the idea of basically being able to filter through things and only allowing in the things that you want to allow in. Closing yourself off is a defense tactic, whereas discernment is an offensive tactic. It's a way of getting ahead of things. It's a way of feeling things out before they feel you out, if you know what I mean when I say that. Getting one up on whatever the situation is, seeing it from a distance rather than reacting to it when it attacks you, so to speak. And I always like to liken discernment to a gate to a castle. So the walls to the castle are meant to protect what's inside, to protect the lives that are inside, to protect your life in this particular situation. And not just your physical life, but also, your spiritual being, your emotional world, all of the, the things, the bounty that you have to offer. You're protecting that inside of these castle walls. And discernment is the gate at the front door, right? It's the gate that either allows or does not allow someone or something into within the walls of the gate to partake in what is available inside these walls, or to have access to what's inside the walls. And what I say is that, it is a process of this filtration process it's a skill. And some of it comes more naturally to, sometimes developing the skill comes naturally to some people, and it's a little bit more challenging for others. But the whole idea is that you're practicing it. The whole idea is that you are working at it, that it's not going to develop itself. And as we know, as we work through processes, sometimes we might make a mistake. We might let someone or something in that doesn't belong there. And then the idea is to just kick it out as quickly as possible, and then move forward. This idea of moving forward. So I feel like dwelling, again, not dwelling on it, acknowledging that this happened, acknowledging the difficulty, and then moving forward from it, not dwelling on it, not sitting in it. And then on the other hand, not avoiding it, right? This idea of, I said, bringing it forth, admitting where the mistake was made, and then moving forward. So we also turn over our star tarot, which is all about harmony. It's all about renewal. To me, the star is about hope as well. I feel like the star is about hope and light and promise. So a star in the night sky, it's a beacon. You know, the darkness is all around, and then you have the star up in the sky where it's a beacon of hope. Like, there is light even in the darkness, I feel. And even, I feel like even the phenomena of a star to me is magical. Having like that one glimmer of hope in the darkness is magic. That juxtaposition of light and dark. So this idea of harmony, I feel like harmony in ourselves, like renewal, harmony, healing is also the message that I'm getting. So healing from whatever this emotional strife was, whatever this element over here is that you've been dwelling in. I feel like the star energy is all about healing from that, renewing, having renewed energy, harmony, aligning ourselves with our life purpose and our path. And I feel like a good discernment tool is to test something against our life's purpose and our life path. Does this thing, whatever it is, align with our life's purpose and our life's path? And if it does not, it is not in harmony, and therefore it cannot enter into the castle walls. So that's kind of just a tip and a trick that you can use as you develop your discernment. And then we also turn over our King of Swords energy. So whenever our King of Swords energy comes up, the message here is really about being able to articulate our message and like self-advocacy in a very like logical and grounded way. Using our voice or our ability to communicate as a way or a source of healing, and also of allowing, like telling people around us how we want to be treated and what's important to us. And this idea of being intelligent, intellect. So yes, you know, you have your spiritual energy, emotional intelligence, but you also have your intellect and your logic as well. And I feel like all of these things together, emotional intelligence, you know, our logic and reason, often, again, juxtaposition of these elements that kind of logically don't make sense. Like, you can't be logical and emotional at the same time. Well, yes, you can. You can use both of those tools at the same time to discern whether or not something belongs in your life, whether or not something gets the pass to come into your inside your castle walls. Yes, very much so. Again, like I said, I feel like our message today was going to be talking about blending things that don't, quote unquote, make sense. But it does. It actually makes a lot of sense, because you have access to all of these tools. Why would you not use them if you need them? You know, it's like saying, I need a screwdriver, but I'm only going to use the hammer. It's like, well, why? Like, you have a screwdriver, so use it. And I also feel like our King of Swords is coming to encourage us to use our voices more. Use our voices more. And I feel like trust is also connected to like trusting ourselves. Some of you might not feel like you have, you know, the best, you know, you might not feel like you always have the right thing to say, or always say the thing that you feel or you think. And I feel like, again, these tools, in order to learn how to use them, you have to actually use them. So, yeah, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to say something that you think is maybe dumb or maybe not exactly the way you wanted to say it. And I feel like the message here, like, yeah, that's what life is all about. It's all about getting out there and testing these different things and figuring out what works and what doesn't and what's helpful to us. So for me personally, just sharing an awkward moment, for the most part, when I'm giving talks or speeches, I mean, these are all intuitive. So, you know, this is off the dome, but because spirituality comes easier to me. But when it comes to like other things like giving presentations and public speaking and stuff, I've learned over time that I feel the most comfortable when I have a solid grip on what I'm talking about, and when I practice When I go over something so many times that I know it inside out, upside down, left and right, that's when I feel really comfortable and I have success. So I'm sharing that story to share with you that it's about learning yourself. It's about learning what works for you, not about what works for someone else. Like somebody's tip or trick might work for you and it might not. And I feel like it's just about going out there exploring, going out there and doing and finding and testing out what form of communication works best for you to articulate yourself and to, advocate for yourself or speak your truth. That's the message that I got really intensely for you guys. Okay, so we're adding ghost pipe to our conversation. Keyword here is mystery. Ooh, that's interesting. How mysterious of you, ghost pipe, to come into the conversation with the keyword mystery. So with our ghost pipe grows, I feel like, in the most, like in a really obscure places. And people that have tried to grow this particular herb like in like a domesticated, it just doesn't work out. It doesn't grow. So I feel like this idea of mystery is about a couple of things. So I feel like one message is that when we were talking about this idea of trusting in magic, this idea of magic, I feel like is mysterious. I feel like elements of magic are mysterious. I feel like we understand parts and pieces of it, like, again, using the example of love, like we understand the water element of love and we understand the fire element of love. We might not necessarily, in a very in-depth way, understand how those energies connect and coexist together. And again, that is the magic of it. And I feel like parts of it should be mysterious and parts of life in general and who you are can be mysterious. But I also feel like, in the same breath, like some things need to be discovered. Some things need to be able to dwell where they are naturally. And some things need to be, we need to dig into them, dig deeper into them and kind of figure out where they are. And again, I feel like that's connected to this idea of communicating our intelligence and communicating in general, communicating our needs and our wants. That is something that needs to be discovered. Whereas some of the other elements can be left to be a little bit arbitrary or a little bit mysterious, left in their own environment, if you will. Okay. We're getting into some really interesting conversations today, group number 3. All right, let us add to our conversation from our essential oil deck here. So we have joyful. Keyword is elevate. The triggering statement is I feel so low. The true statement, I persevere. Okay, listen. Okay, so first of all, the trigger statement really reminded me of this 5 of Cups energy. So this idea of having 2 upright cups, 2 positive things in our lives, and having 3, difficult things in our lives, and dwelling on those 3 things instead of paying attention to the positive things. So when I think of joy, it also in my, senses, in my spiritual world and realm, it connects immediately to peace and immediately to gratitude. Being grateful, being joyous, being joyful, and being at peace, being peaceful are really just like 3 synergetic points in life to me. And I feel like when they are in harmony with each other, like, all of that negativity just has no place. It has no space when that synergetic energy is connected with joy and peace and gratitude, gratefulness are connected. So I feel like here, this idea of elevation. Joy, unlike happiness, joy comes from the inside. So happiness is exterior things. Things make me happy, right? Getting a promotion, getting a raise, earning, a whole bunch of money or something like that, or finding a love relationship or a partner or a child or something. Some like things like outside stimulation makes us happy. Joy is cultivated from the inside out. Joy resides in us even if the things around us are tumultuous, chaotic, stressful. That energy doesn't come into our joy. Like when we are when we are joyous, when we are at peace, when we are in alignment, and when we are harmonious, there is no space for any of that stuff to fit inside of us. So it cannot come in, because those spaces are filled with those beautiful energies, with that joy, that peace, that gratitude. And I feel like to find joy, gratitude, to me is the gateway to joy and to peace. And where there is gratitude, where there is joy, where there is peace, fear, anxiety, all these things cannot reside in the same place altogether. Being grateful and being joyous and at peace, all of the other things can't live there when those things are in your heart space, in your, mind, and your body, and your spirit, and your soul. So that triggered me to say that, joy is made from the inside out. And just being at peace, with where you are. Even if where you are isn't where you want to be tomorrow, it's still where you are now. And just, again, focusing on the, that gratitude, I feel like will get us to a place of peace, which will get us to a place of joy. Gratitude, to me, is really about embracing the things that are positive in your life. And some days, sometimes it might feel like the only positive thing in your life is the fact that you are indeed alive. And that is always a good start to a day. I'm telling you, okay? Because if you have life, you have the ability to make magic. You have the ability to take some form and transmute it into something else, to take heartache, to take disappointment, to take duress and distress and convert that, transform that into renewed power, into hope, into faith, and to move forward, really, honestly. And then know that difficulty, that challenge, that struggle is the catalyst for renewal, for harmony, for peace, for forward motion and forward momentum and getting out of the slump, really, because we're not dwelling there. We're not staying there. We're going to keep moving. So the rest of the card reads, I know I meandered. Release the worry and fear and allow confidence, trust, and strength to take you to your goal. Absolutely. I feel like that's what I was talking about for the last 5 minutes. But this idea again, release, man. Release the things that aren't serving you. Release the things that aren't hopeful, and having faith and trusting in the magic of the universe, trusting in the magic of manifestation, and having those thoughts and having those true deep soul feelings about it is going to bring you prolific abundance, really. Yes. So that is what I would consider the general message for my group number 3. And to end our conversation today, we are going to pull 3 cards from our Soul Truth deck. So there are going to be questions and things for you to, actions for you to take forward through the week. and to meditate on, to ponder on, to mull over the next 5 to 7 days until we meet again next week. So we're going to go ahead. Pull our first card. It says, does my life have room for more pleasure and play? Oh, I think that's a beautiful message. I already know what you're going to say. I already know. In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work? Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. Oh my gosh, I'm triggered. But I feel like this is a really lovely message, especially for those of you who are maybe still in the 5 of Cups energy right now. You know, this idea in general, especially for us achievers, us 8 energy folks, us 1 energy folks, this idea of achievement and all of that. Pleasure and play. Enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed. So let's enjoy it more. I feel like that's a beautiful message. All right, so our second card. What am I most afraid of losing? As we grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was, to make room for what will be. And I feel like we already kind of talked about this already. This idea that, you know, multiple things can't dwell in the same place. So making room, like pushing out the fear and the negative energy to allow positive energy to replace it. If you were to take the big leap today, which you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging, what if it was a big lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give everything you need to yourself? Name the fear and look at the worst case scenario. Find a solution. Take your power back by being certain of who you are and where you are going. Beautiful. Yeah, releasing energy. And then I love this one too. Name all the things you love. Name all the things you love. Are you one of them? I give myself all the love and attention I need. Oh my gosh. Trigger moment. Love it. That's so beautiful. I love it. Name all the things you love. That's a good exercise in general. All right. Beautiful. So these are the messages that I have channeled for you today, group number 3. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to drop a comment and let me know what resonated. Also, let me know which question, which soul truth card you're moving forward with for this week. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload new content. So also make sure to check out my Facebook page and my Etsy shop, where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. Thanks again for your time and your energy today. I appreciate you spending it with me, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye.